These handcrafted Japanese katanas are just too amazing, like too amazing. Okay, wait, let me not get distracted here. This is a video for another time. Hey there guys, my name is Joshua Cleopas and today we're going to talk about the top 5 things I think you need to know before becoming a freelance creative. Did you guys see what happened like last week on Twitter? I mean, I was blown away. I had about 4,000 views and I have no idea where they all came from. Anyway, thank you so much if you spent time to watch that video, and I hope you're back to watch this one too. So before that, wait, hold on. Let me get into my zone now. Yeah, maybe somewhere around there. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the top 5 things I think every freelance person should know, because these are some things that I missed when I was starting out. And it really cost me a bit of some headache. So I hope you learned a thing or two from this one. Okay, now the first thing is to make sure that you keep your personal income separate from your business income. And what I mean by that is to have 2 separate accounts where you keep money, so you don't have to put them together. And there are many reasons for that, but my top 2 reasons is 1, tracking. So you know how much money is coming into your work, right? Like the business, the cash inflow and the cash outflow and stuff like that. If you know how much money you're making, it's good for you to project into the future to make more financial decisions. It improves your financial literacy skills, so you know how to sort of structure your business going forward. If you need more work, if you need to outsource some work, knowing how much money that comes in and out to your account is good. And it also gives you a really pretty good looking bank statement in case you get some work and they would require you to have a certain amount of money that has been in your account before and stuff like that. You have a pretty good idea of how to do that, and you already have a good statement and stuff like that. So the second thing is dipping, right? So when you have your accounts together, you're always going to dip. When you need money for your personal life, for your car, your fuel, your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever, I mean, whatever you need to do, the account is one. So you just go in there, take the money and it's out, you spend it and it's done. So you don't really have a good idea of what you're spending your money on and how much is left and how much is coming in and all that. Like, it's really good to get your balances and everything right. So you really have to separate these 2 accounts. It's something that I really messed up on, and before I realized, I had lost all the money I was making, and it sucks. So just so you know, make sure that you keep those 2 accounts separate. Your personal account on one hand and the business account on the other hand. It's really going to save you a lot of headache. Point number 2. I think point number 2 is that a lot of people think freelance is a haven, right? They think it's an escape from having a boss who is always on your neck with deadlines and a lot of hustle and stress, right? But the truth is, freelance is much tougher than any of us think. So think of it like this. So you're working in an agency or a graphic design firm or a small studio or whatever, right? And you have just one boss, and you only have his headache to deal with, and a bunch of other things. But then once you become a freelancer, you're sort of running your own show, and then you will have multiple bosses at this point. So imagine if you're a generalist like myself, who does photography, filming, animation, illustration, I mean all that. You're going to have one client who is asking you for photography, another client who's asking you for filmmaking, another client who's asking you for branding, logo design, strategy. So right now, you just move from having one boss to having 5 bosses. And you need a lot of temperament to know how to manage 5 people at the same time. So if you don't have that sort of aptitude and mental stability to actually handle all these myriad of people with different personalities and different temperaments, you're really going to go down crashing, and then you wouldn't know what to do. So before you move from being a freelancer to from being a worker in an agency or a firm or a studio to being a freelancer, know that you're going to meet a lot of crazy people who don't really care about you that much and just want their work done. And there are some people who care and people who are genuinely loving. I mean, I've met a couple of those clients and I really hold them tight. If you meet people like that, make sure that you keep them in your life. But there are other people who are really crazy and just want to you up. Yeah, like you two have to censor the, you know what I mean. Never mind. So like I'm saying, you really need to know how to manage a lot of people, manage your time, your client expectations and everything, because this is the point where you get to deal with multiple people with multiple personalities, different temperaments, who are always going to be on your neck for new things. So be prepared for that. So the third thing on the list that I think is quite important is to learn to see other creatives as an opportunity for collaboration and growth rather than competition. I mean, I agree, competition is like inarguably one of the most basic building blocks in every society. And in creatives, this is also true. You need that to sort of push you forward to do better and to always keep producing outstanding work. However, if competition becomes your everything, where you're always trying to outshine the other person, this can actually destroy your career. When you get to a point where competition becomes everything to you, that's when it gets really dangerous for your career. Like, you begin to feed your negative self-image, and it produces a lot of destructive behaviors like hating and trolling. I mean, like, have you ever seen another designer's work or filmmaker or photographer and you are desperately trying to find something wrong with it? Like, oh, that's the bad font. See, the font parent sucks. That's a bad color. Even the photography is not nice. The skin retouch sucks. Oh, the video sequence is not working. I mean, the music is horrible. I mean, if that's you have to sit down and chill, right? Other people's success is not proof of your failure. You need to know that other designers have their own life. They have their own struggles. They bring through certain things, and they are also on the same journey that you are on. And you have to learn to work together and see them as an opportunity to collaborate and grow your personal skills, your business skills and everything, rather than see them as competition. If you do this, you begin to see them for who they truly are and their talents and skills. And in the future, some of these people might actually end up working with you on projects that you can't handle on your own. So it's good to see them as competition sometimes, but the most importantly, you need to see them as an opportunity to grow and to collaborate. So the fourth thing on my list is to build your personal brand. I mean, a lot of freelancers are hardworking. I mean, you have to be hardworking to even consider freelancing, right? If you're not hardworking and you're trying to get freelance to escape work, I think you're missing the point. But I'm going to leave you to figure that out in the future, because you definitely will. So let's talk about personal brand, right? You need to engage in building your personal brand. A lot of your clients are going to meet you personally, and you need to be a likable person. You need to have good people skills and good social skills. You need to have good communication skills so you can convey your thoughts to your clients quite easily. If you can't do that, find somebody who can do that for you. Or you can team up with somebody who's more eloquent than you are, so you can be able to sort of have better conversations with your clients. We freelance creatives are perfect and experts at designing very beautiful visual identities and videos and making great pictures and stuff for our clients. However, we rarely ever do them for ourselves. I mean, why is that? Like, we always having time to create really dope work for our clients, but we never do that for ourselves. So, I mean, these are a few reasons why you can consider to actually build your personal brand as if you were your own client. So your personal brand is like a movie trailer, right? It has all the bits and pieces of who you are, all the juicy stuff in there. I mean, the suspense and the complex plot twists and everything. So think of it like that. What do you want people to know about you? How do you want to rope them in? How do you want to sort of put them into a little dilemma of complex sequences? How do you plan to get people to know your story? And how do you plan to change the world by what you're trying to do? So think of it like that. You always have to make sure that you're coming across as the person you ought to be. You wouldn't want to sort of impersonate somebody else. In the long run, you get tired, you can't keep up, and then you fall out. And it begins to look like you're a copycat and you're not consistent. So it's always important to write down the things that you like, the things that you align yourself with, the things that you feel are quite important to you as a human being, and use that to develop your personal brand. And it doesn't happen overnight. Over time, it appreciates as you grow, your experiences accumulate, and you begin to understand yourself quite more. Just the same as you do for a different company, and it gets to a point where they've escalated or they've gone beyond their business goals because people have begun to see them for who they are. The same thing works on your personal brand. So it takes a little while, but you need to get it done at the beginning. Lay the foundations, who you are, what's your story, where you want to go, and why you're doing this. And over time, you begin to use that as a foundation to build your personal brand and your story, so people can begin to know you for who you are. So when you have some free time on your hand, try as much as possible to use that time to develop your personal brand, right? So you can look into making behind the scenes of your work. I mean, talk about your processes, share some bits of secrets that you yourself have gathered over the years that you think people can benefit from and stuff like that. I mean, it can be anything, but as long as you keep on doing that and sending it out there so people can see, slowly it becomes your personal brand. Because we're in 2019, right? The fourth industrial revolution is actually here, and social media is your friend and not your enemy. It's not childish to be posting on social media. I mean, people think that when they say, oh, I've deleted my Instagram or my Twitter because I think it's too immature to be sharing my life out with everybody. I like myself. I mean, we get that. See that for yourself. But for we freelancers, we are trying to convert all that attention into revenue. So it's good to let people be aware that you're still out there and you're still doing things. So you're sort of projecting yourself to the world and showing them what you're up to. It makes them know that you're still doing what you're doing, you're always improving, and the consistency will let people recommend you in the future. So that's how you should be thinking when it comes to personal brand. In a couple of years, you're going to thank me for telling you this. And the final thing, but not the least thing, there's still more, but the final thing on my list is contracts. Contracts. These things are so important. I mean, contracts are so difficult to formulate. It feels too formal and everything. But trust me, contracts will save you. Contracts will save you. A lot of people have no idea what they want, especially most of the freelance clients you might pick up along the way. They have an idea where they want to go, but they don't know exactly what it is. So it's important to outline all your deliverables, everything you're going to do for your client, the amount of money you agreed on, when the due dates are, and everything. So you have all those things listed in order. Their clients see it, they agree on it, they sign on it, you're free. If anything pops up along the way which wasn't in the contract, you can either add it later and then you can let them append and know that this has been added onto it. So when anything goes wrong, like down the line, you are protected. I mean, they are there to save your life if something is supposed to go wrong. And if something goes wrong, you have the contract. You can always refer them back to the contract and tell them that, okay, so we decided to do this and this and this and this and this for this amount of price. But since you want to add this, or since this has delayed, it has sort of offset our plan and we need to make adjustments for that. So the contracts are there to save you. If you don't know how to build a contract, you can go online, Google some things, find some templates, and then change them and put your own things that you're scared of in there, right? I mean, as time goes on, you begin to, a line begins to draw on the things that become frequent issues in your workflow, and you can add them to protect yourself as time goes on. And these contracts also make you look professional, and clients begin to trust you more because they feel like you have a set of principles and morals that is guiding you as a freelancer. Okay, so those are the top 5 things that I wish I knew before becoming a freelancer. And I hope they help you out. I mean, there are a lot more things, but these are the things I felt like were important as time goes on. And if you have anything else you want to add, you can write it down in the comments below and other people might see it as well. If you're interested in this type of content, I'll be producing more of this frequently. So consider subscribing and liking and sharing with your family and friends. And if you've stuck around to watch this whole thing, because this is a really long video, if you stuck around this whole time, I have just one thing to tell you. Thank you, and see you soon.